Hi YouTubers, it's George. I'm in the garage and welcome to another one of my ham radio videos. I've updated my coils and one thing or another, and I'm just looking at my aerial system in the bag, and I've now been looking at this this ground plane here. It's quite heavy duty, and I wonder whether I can make a better one and a more lightweight one than this. So I'm just going to stop the video and put it on the bench, and I'll show what I'm referring to. Okay, so here we have my ground plane earthing stake thingy bob, whatever you like to call this plate, and I can have quite a lot of ground wires or counterpoises on this plate, and to be honest, I've only ever really used four, these 5 meter lengths. So do I need something as heavy duty as this plate? Because it's quite heavy actually. So I'm wondering if I can make something smaller, more compact and less complicated. Now I've got 4 connectors there, so I wonder if I could just make a little plate of some sort. So yeah, so that's what I'm doing today. See if I can make a more compact plate for my ground radials or earths or whatever you like to call it. Now, not having a lot of spare material to hand, I've got a bit of aluminium there, scrap, and an old box and a washer. So could I make something like that? I've got an old length of copper pipe here. I wonder if I cut that and flattened it, I could make a square plate and then solder these on. Let's see if I can do that. So I've got this copper pipe and I put it in the vise. I've cut a slot in it, just one side. I should cut it off there. And I'm just using a standard hacksaw. So now I've got a piece of copper pipe with a slot in it. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to prise this open with a big screwdriver, put it on here and turn it into a flat piece of metal. So this is what it looks like. I'll just sort of it's a bit of a odd shape, so I'm going to put it on there and then I'm going to whack it with the hammer. So I've got like a flat piece of metal. Sometimes it takes 2 or 3 attempts both sides. Like that. So now I've got a reasonably flat piece of copper, and what I'm going to do is make sure it's exactly square, and I'll cut that with tin snips, and then I'll show you what's next. Okay, so I've gone from a copper pipe to a piece of copper 40mm by 40mm, marked the centres, and I've snipped off the corners to reduce the sharp edges, and I shall file those. But what I'm going to do next is centre drill it to suit the bolt on here. There, if I can do it, so it for that diameter. Okay, so we've now got the copper plate 40 by 40 drilled with a centre hole, deburred it the best I can, and what I'm going to do, I'm going to solder a washer on there to give it a bit of reinforcement, and then I'm going to solder that on, so I'm going to have to clean the copper up to do that. So now we've got a copper plate with a washer. Not the best soldering I've done, and so I need to find a way of connecting these here onto this plate. I'm thinking if I've got a small piece of this green wire I could do that, or I might be able to squash them on. Don't know. Let's have a look what I can use. Yes, I might be able to just use some wire. I'm making this up as I go along, you can understand. Okay, so what I've done, I've soldered some thick wire onto the 4 corners in each corner. Not the best soldering, but bear in mind this is the ground planes. Some wire soldered on the 4 corners, and I put these bullet connectors on, car connectors. Got another one to put on if I can find it. There it is. So that, I've got to crimp that on there, and that hopefully will replace one I've got. Okay, so I've soldered some wires on each corner and then put the crimp connectors on. So rather than this great big plate, I've now got this, which is really light and compact, and as I say, that goes on there on the tripod with a coil on the top, and it lightens the kit dramatically. So thanks for watching, please subscribe and like.